Hello everyone, I'm Neverdot. Welcome to my channel. This is week 13, 19, I can count, of whatever this is, the weekly comic. And we are delving into Flavor Town. Yes, it's very important. Because this week, the week that I drew it, I recognize that I'm behind on these videos and I'm going to speed up. I was hungry when I drew this. I admit that. I freely admit that. And I was not only hungry for proper food that I was not making in my own house because I'm bad at making stuff. No, it had to be food from outside of the domain, the walls, the sphere. I live in a sphere. Why? Let's say a box. The box that I live in. Yes, I need to order out. Specifically, I really wanted Chinese food. Like bad Chinese food. You know when you grow up? Well, when I grew up, parents would get me Chinese food, which they thought was great. It was just from the local Chinese food place, which wasn't authentic at all. I had the spring rolls and the chicken balls and the other things, chicken McNuggets, who knows. But the chicken fried rice in the little styrofoam bucket thing with a spoon, the most delicious thing I had ever had, and I could eat a whole bucket of it, and I was like super thin kid that didn't eat anything, but I could eat a whole thing of that. So I love that stuff. And I still do. I don't eat it hardly ever now because now I appreciate authentic, actual Chinese food. And I know that what I was eating before was trash. And a cultured person such as myself would never touch the stuff. But occasionally, I have to break that model and order chicken fried rice. I do feel a bit ashamed. But still, it's really good. So, you know, stop judging me. I want the stuff. I want the fried rice. The bad one. And we like it. We also like McDonald's. That's also not for any human, but still, we like it. So, Today with Peter. He's back. Claire, back. They're back from their adventures, so they can now be back in the comic. So they are having some time back home. Needed rest, definitely. It's good to have them back. And yeah, we've got Claire with her 5 vein spin things, and we've got Jenny popping in at the end. Jenny is our representative from China. I don't think she grew up there. First of all, because there's no China in the Neverdot planet, whatever it is. But she represents that culture. I think her parents maybe were from there. Possibly. So she knows what's proper. She has some lychee friends that she can hook you up with. And she knows that this is proper. That looks like Mexican beans, so I had to change the color of the... Getting fried rice right. When drawing the comics, you know, I want to put a lot of effort into it, but not an insane amount of effort. So when drawing like fried rice, I had this horrible prospect of like, do I have to render separately every grain? No. I just have to put down a bit of detail so you guys can get the idea that it's fried rice without really zooming in and enhancing and then like, oh wait, the shadow on that grain to that grain is not quite right. You messed up, Neverdot. You don't need to render all the details. You just need to give a hint of the details. Just like when you're drawing a brick wall. You just need to put in a few brick gap things. You don't need to draw all the bricks. And if you're drawing cobblestone or something, you just need a bit of cracks and stuff in the rock. You do not need everything. Draw a hair, you just draw some glints of strands on the light, but you don't need to draw every single strand. And I tried that when I was learning to draw human beings. I would try to draw every single strand and shade every single strand separately. It looked terrible. It didn't look good at all. I mean, I was impressed, but I didn't realize how bad it looked. It just looked better than the terrible stuff I had been doing before. I guess improvement is good. Never feel bad about yourself for improving, but always recognize the humans are easily deceived by just surface details. You can get away with terrible stuff and they will buy it. So as an artist, put in minimum effort and people will accept that to a surprising degree. Actually, sometimes I do wonder, does my comic not perform as well because I put more effort in, I color it. A lot of good comics are not colored. They're just black and white. Or better, or worse, they're drawn much worse. Like, you know, there's little stick bands or something, badly drawn. Those comics do really, really well. And I'm not saying anything negative about them. I love those comics. XKCD is amazing. It is obviously not. It is well drawn for what it is. The artist is not trying. Monroe is not trying to draw well, and it works for him, and that's a perfectly acceptable thing. Exo Comics, also black and white most of the time, but her work is amazing. And Chris Hallbeck, also really great work. Always quasi stickmen. They got a bit of meat on their bones, but it all works. So, should I be doing worse art? Should I put less effort into this? Would people be more engaged? I have to admit with some amount of shame that when I'm scrolling through the Reddit comics section and I'm picking which ones to read and I see a really well rendered one, I skip over it. I don't want to. For some reason, I'm turned off by good shading and all the details and everything. I don't know why. That bothers me. I'm doing that. So if I want people to read my stuff, I probably should read all of them. I do often read those ones, but my brain is telling me go read the one that is less well done. So maybe as a comic artist, you should put very low level of effort into it and focus on the joke. I am focusing on the art because my jokes are terrible. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this and learning some secrets of the trade that you don't need to put as much effort into your comic as you might think to get a good result. Give it a try, do an A/B test, see what people engage with, and don't think that what you're doing now is necessarily what it has to be forever. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for following on TikTok, on here, YouTube, Twitter. Yeah, that's about all. I'm probably missing an important one. Did I say YouTube? Anyways, see you next time.